and welcome back to our podcasting station called The Social Network. Just kidding, we're The Social Underground. We talk to you guys about movies, music, games, anything. Today we have some really important topics, and we are going to start out with video games, some new video game announcements. So, Victor, if you want to start it off with Crysis 3, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. It's been I think a week since it's been announced. It's going to come out spring of next year.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be in New York City. And,
did you even say what we're talking about?
Yeah, Crysis 3.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Didn't get there.
Couldn't hear over your computer.
It's bad.
No, it's fine, Tim. Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, usually in post-apocalyptic settings, it's industrial, but this one is more of a jungle, I guess. Or
the wildlife is taken over.
Yeah. Corey, I think you played Crysis 2, right?
Played Crysis 2.
Yeah, because I haven't played
and honestly, I love the game. Yeah, I love the game. I like the style of it. Really fast paced, but I definitely think it's going to be a twist with having all the wildlife and everything come into effect. It's going to be a good twist on the game, and whatever else they're going to add into it, it's definitely going to make it better.
Yeah.
And just graphically, the game graphically was beautiful.
Yeah, it does. Well, the Crytek engine is one of it's sort of there with boss fight. It's the next best thing in my opinion. But
yeah.
The second one didn't have the crossbow or whatever it is, right?
No. It was a lot of just really futuristic weapons, really futuristic weapon based. Because it kind of fit the setting, it was big city, all these, futuristic looking guys shooting at you, so they had to fit the setting of adding futuristic weapons. I definitely think with having the wildlife and the trees are going to add a little bit more woodsy kind of, primitive almost weapons, but with a futuristic twist.
The Walking Dead video game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I heard about that.
It was actually available now, as of 7 minutes ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They have a midnight release for it or now?
Well, it's an arcade game, so you can go download it right now. April 25th, it has been available. Basically, it's supposed to take place during The Walking Dead, where it's supposed to be its own spin-off story. And from what I've seen,
the comics or the TV show?
Probably
I think it's more of
both.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be more of a complete spin-off, set in the universe, but not exactly involving any of the characters, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And from what I've seen is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but the game Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
I've heard about that game.
Where it's mostly just a playable story.
Right, yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what I've seen most of the gameplay as so far.
Okay. No online play? Or?
That I don't know about. Yeah, but it looks interesting. I'm not saying you should go out and buy it because I haven't seen that much.
Now, of what you've seen of it, is it are we looking at your typical first-person shooter zombie game, or are we looking at something a little different?
No, I think it's third person.
Third person?
Yeah, but like I said, most of the stuff I've seen is just like playable movie stuff, like in Heavy Rain, where like a cutscene plays out and then you hit a couple buttons to determine what you want to do, and if you don't hit it in time, battle tech the cutscene, like you'll get hit by a zombie or you'll die or something. So like in some of the gameplay I've seen, the main character fights a zombie in a house, and like this little girl has a hammer, and you have to hit a button to take the hammer, and you have to hit different buttons to like beat the zombie to death.
Gotcha.
So it looks pretty interesting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
I read something where they said it's going to be released in episodes, so for like downloadable content, and there's like add-ons episodes for the game will be released monthly.
That's pretty cool.
So,
I guess that's a good idea.
So, yeah, so we're looking at like almost like the movie. I mean, not the movie, the series.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
So I have a couple. I guess what we could do is just pick up one or two games that we're really looking forward to. I guess I would start out with Tomb Raider doesn't have a release date, but I'm kind of excited. I don't know how maybe like 04, like 8 years ago or something. I don't know. And yeah, they're starting from basically the beginning, from scratch. And
like revamping it?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Resident Evil 6, October 2nd. That game better be better than Operation Raccoon City, because if it's not, then I'm just going to lose hope on any other Resident Evil game that's going to come out.
For me, a couple games that I'm looking forward to. It doesn't have a release date yet, but or that I know of at least. But Aliens: Colonial Marines.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a little bit of that.
Oh my god! Like, I really don't know too much about the game. I've seen trailers for it. It's just me. Any game.
I was watching a little bit of GameStop.
Yeah.
I was watching like a little bit of like inside information on it. It's gonna have like a single player co-op campaign. I think it's gonna have online, multiplayer. Let's see what else they said about it. It's like gonna be like aliens versus humans, I think.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I think you could be like alien. Yeah, you'd be like the aliens, or you'd be the humans.
I would
I mean, practically the game looks pretty good, so, that'd be pretty cool to see, I'd like to try it.
Yeah.
Another game that I'm waiting for, like, it's probably one of the only summer release games that I know of, but, what is it? Spec Ops: The Line?
Oh, okay.
You guys hear it? Yeah.
Spec Ops?
Spec Ops: The Line.
No, I haven't heard about that.
It was a couple of years ago. It was like 2008 or 2009 that they released like a couple trailers for it. Mm-hmm. But it's been pushed back for so long. And like back then I saw one, because all they really had was like a gameplay trailer, and it looked so fucking cool that I was freaking out. I was like, I can't wait for this game. And then they kept pushing it back and pushing it back. But they're finally releasing it June something. I can't remember the release date. But basically, like the Dubai, the city, is like completely destroyed by sandstorms, and there's some sort of I think it's some sort of like general or something, or captain that goes rogue, and he's like inside the city, and you and your spec ops team goes into like extract him, but like he's doing something fishy. June 26th is the date for that. But the gameplay looks sick because like the entire city, the sandstorms are so bad that the entire city is completely filled with sand, and like buildings can topple over, and the winds are so strong that they blow out windows in your face. Like it's kind of like that scene in the movie The Day After Tomorrow, where Dennis Quaid is walking on the snow, and then the glass, he can't see it, but he's really walking over a mall, and like the glass breaks, and like his friend falls in. Well, that shit happens in the game. Like the sand is so high and intense that they covered entire buildings. So you'll be walking, and then the weight of you on the sand on top of this glass, you'll fall through a building, and like you'll have to fight your way through the you'll have to fight your through the building. I just watched multiplayer for it.
Now wait, what are you fighting?
You're fighting against. Like the dude you're trying to extract, like his own private army. Like I don't think he's a good guy. Or
like nomads? Like nomads?
No,
kind of.
Like other spec ops soldiers. Like a private army versus a spec ops. Obviously. To me, the game looks similar to Gears of War, except you're not a big hulking like beast of a person. Like you're just like a normal sized dude. Like you don't have arms the size of fucking garbage cans. But it looks pretty intense. I was watching videos for multiplayer where it's basically, I think it was oh man, what the fuck were they called? It's like the Exiles versus the Damned or something, and it's like like multiplayer has its own story to it or something, where like like a platoon of soldiers go into the city to rescue or extract the dude, but half of the platoon betrays the commanding officer and form their own unit, and then they basically have a war inside the city. And like it's kind of cool, but you can use your environment around you during the game. For example, like sandstorms that destroyed the city will come in during the match and like completely black out the entire map, so like you can barely see 2 feet in front of you, and it'll go on for a couple minutes of just like excuse me, like a crazy close combat, and you're just freaking out because you can't see anything.
So you're telling me that you are not looking forward to Madden? It's like the most original thing I've started on.
I'm not a sports game kind of guy. Like, to me, they don't really change. Like, the only thing to me that changes about these games is
the players.
Not even the players. Like, to me, most of them are the same. I mean, I don't sit down and play the games to know what players are on what team, like in the game at least. But like to me, like the only thing about the game that changes is the cover art for the box and the music that they play in the menus. Everything else is exactly the same. Like other than that,
play like Madden 94.
Yeah, I'll stick with it. I'll stick with NFL Blitz 2000.
You know what's there? Oh, I love that game.
Oh my
I just love
god.
the fact that you can just beat the crap out of everyone, even after the play's done.
That was the best part. That's the best part.
Drop kicking people and body slamming people and suplexing them. Oh.
Like, yeah, they're walking around and then you see a body fly into them.
Out of nowhere. And like how you can like switch players and stuff like that. You just switch them and just keep like everyone body slamming one guy. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That is 100 times better than Madden. Well, it technically kind of is Madden, but I don't know. To me, that's 10 times better than Madden 2012 or whatever.
All right. The two games that I'm kind of really anticipating for. Well, the first one has to be. It's kind of two games, but the Devil May Cry HD collection that's coming out. I'm really excited for that because I'm a big fan of the series. And Devil May Cry 5, which doesn't have a release date yet, but I've seen I've seen a lot of videos for it. They even had a what is it? I don't know if it was IGN, but they had a video, like a trailer for it, and it's just like I'm a big fan of the series, and you know. I don't know if you guys know anything about it at all.
Absolutely.
Have you guys ever played any of them?
Nope.
Neither of you guys?
Nope.
Alright, well the series is like, the first one's the last one, the first one's the first one's kind of the second one, the second one's the last one, and the third one is the first one. Then the fourth one is somewhere in between the first one and the second one. And then the fifth one that's coming out is going to be like a prequel. It's kind of like how Dante inherits all his powers, and before he becomes like, you know, half devil, half human. But I mean, he already is half devil, half human anyway. But before he like gets all his powers and everything, and just graphically, they like enhanced the graphics on the game, and just this like they kept like the same engine, like the same like hack and slash thing, which I absolutely love. I love hack and slash games, but they kept the same engine and just like boosted the graphics and like almost recreated the story, you know, before you beat Dante in the first game. You know, or, you know, play as him as a third game, you know. It's just that I'm just really excited for that game to come out in the series, as well as the HD collection, which they're, you know, completely redoing all of, you know, 1, 2, and 3, which I'm excited for that too. I think that's coming out soon, but I don't have a release date for it yet. The second game I'm really anticipating coming out is Sniper Elite V2.
Oh, okay.
I played the demo. Yeah, I played the demo, and I loved it, because I'm a big fan of World War II era games. It's basically like you're a lone sniper for the U.S. Army, and you go around and, you know, just picking off these German soldiers, picking them off. And you have your sniper, your choice of a submachine gun, whether it be a Thompson or an MP40 or MP44. And then you have your choice of a pistol, you know, whether it be like a well rod or, you know, one of those broom handle, you know, pistols. And just the style of the game is great, because like when they definitely incorporated the factors. Like they incorporated like if there's wind, the drop of the bullet, you know, how far the bullet's gonna be pushed if there's wind. Like they incorporated that all. They incorporated your heartbeat. So say if you're like running and then you go to snipe someone, if your heartbeat's too high, then the cursor will bounce back and forth. So you have to like calm yourself down and like get yourself back to a normal, like steady heartbeat, so that way, you know, you can, you know, aim more precisely. And if you hit certain points on a person's body, like it shows where the bullet goes exactly. So if you if you shoot it shows it, like, say if you hit him in the eye, it shows it like in slow motion, like through their skull, through their body, through everything. It shows a bullet going through their eye. It's like,
I'm gonna have to put a demo. Sounds pretty cool.
yeah, it's definitely try it. It's on the game marketplace. You can try a demo for free. All our viewers can go try it if they want. It's a really great game, and it's coming out May 1st. So if you try the demo and like it, go out and get it. Yeah, go out and get it because it's gonna be great. And that just about concludes it for me on that.
As of right now, or this week in the box office, the number one comedy, or number one movie in the box office this week is Think Like a Man, which is
Think Like a Man. What's it about?
Kevin Hart. I honestly don't know what it's about. I've just seen a lot of commercials for it. Something about, there's a book called Think Like a Man, and it kind of teaches girls how to think like a man, so that like men will be more attracted to them or something like that. But like guys also treat women weird, like men. I don't know. Kevin Hart's in it. Kevin Hart is usually funny, and apparently it's a funny movie. But coming out, we have the 5-year engagement. That's not this week. This Friday, the 5-year engagement comes in.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I heard it's supposed to be funny.
Hey, it looks mad funny. Jason Segel's pretty funny, and I think what's her face, Emily Blunt is a gorgeous human being. I would just see the scene. Pirates, or The Pirates, Bandit to Misfits. Victor, I think you would like this movie. I don't know why. Yeah, I honestly don't know why I said that.
Because we're a band of misfits.
Well, I don't know. It's like a pirate movie, but it's like a kids movie, and it's made by the people who do Chicken Run.
Oh, that one. Yeah, Pirates, Band of Misfits, yeah.
Exactly. See, Victor, I fucking knew it. You were dying to go see the Muppets. You'd at least be interested in seeing them.
Just so you know, the Avengers does come out this Friday for me at least. So you can suck the big one on that.
Oh, because you're Mexican, so.
Oh, Tim, looks like we're going to Mexico.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that a couple of the movies that are coming out are Safe with Jason Statham and The Raven with John Cusack.
Right, yeah, about Edgar Allan Poe.
Why him? He's like one of the last actors I would have chosen for that role.
Yeah, everyone I talk to about that movie says the exact same thing. Maybe because he kind of looks like Edgar Allan Poe. or maybe it's because his acting career is about as depressing as Edgar Allan Poe.
That is...
Maybe that's what it is.
That? Yeah. Like, Edgar Allan Poe is one depressing fuck. Like, I think I'm gonna be just as sad as him. I think I'm gonna be just as sad as him if I go see this movie. Like, I don't know. Just like, the concept of the movie is awesome, but I just don't like the fact that Edgar Allan Poe himself. Well, no, not only that he's the actor, but Edgar Allan Poe is like the one trying to solve the crime. Like, if they just had like Edgar Allan Poe as a consultant instead of like the main character of this movie would be awesome. So in no way, shape, or form.
Sherlock Holmes as Robert Downey Jr. just come in there and solve it, just beat everyone up and leave.
I think Wyckoff said the same thing.
Just have Robert Downey Jr. go in there and just beat everyone up. Like,
But like,
the problem is, there is no problem. You guys are idiots and just leave.
but what really blows my mind was in the last podcast I said something about how the Cabin in the Woods looks like a dumb movie, and like it, to be honest, oh my god, my screen's freaking out, it's giving me a seizure. But I can honestly say it's still kind of looks dumb to me, but apparently it got ridiculously good for reviews.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, like, apparently the Cabin in the Woods is a scary movie where like, the kids in the cabin get locked in there by a force field and like monsters are let loose to kill them or whatever. Apparently that's a pretty good fucking movie. Which it blows my mind.
Considering it's also your typical teenagers go into the woods and get trapped there by some crazy freak. That's kind of, typical. Like, hey, let's go to the woods and get trapped in by a guy,
Well,
Let's check out this cabin. It looks like so much
that's
fun.
exactly why it's so
Oh
good.
my god, the door won't open.
Yeah, because apparently from what I've read, in the reviews, they've said it's funny. Like, it's a funny movie. Like there's some jumpy parts here, but it's a funny movie on, like, they play off the back of all the old cliches with, like, teenagers and, like, horror movies. Like, complete no-names in movies. Like, oh my god, yeah, if this happens, and, like, yeah, we're trapped, or, like, let's investigate. And then one by one they all get murdered or whatever. It kind of makes fun of that, but I never saw the movie yet, so I'll have some catching up to do then.
From what I'm hearing about the movie, I mean, it kind of sounds like Evil Dead, so teenagers instead of Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, I think I've heard that too.
Which, I mean,
I think in one of the reviews I read, what?
I liked Evil Dead. It was kind of funny. It wasn't scary at all, but it was kind of funny.
I haven't seen that movie in such a long time. The Evil Dead. That was weird.
We can talk about, I guess, Apple making a gaming console. Well, it's only a rumor. It's not really a fact yet. This year, actually, they're releasing their own TV set with a touchscreen remote and voice command technology, which I guess will make the population more lazy. And it's going to come out with a video game console, which is going to have sort of Kinect like motion control, and Valve is currently working with them to make it, so that's pretty interesting. Since Valve actually comes out with pretty good stuff, so it's going to be interesting to see what they come out with. Though I'm not a big fan of Kinect and the PlayStation Move. So,
never played either one of them, but sounds interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, that's according to coldmax.com, so do not quote me, because I do not know if that is true or not. But,
you guys want to go check it out for yourself?
Yeah.
We'll put the link in the description.
But who knows how much they're gonna want for that. Because they didn't make it clear if it's gonna come with a package, if the TV set or not. So,
I think it should. I think they should, because to me then, if they make it a package deal, then to me they're gonna have to make the gaming console compatible for
other TV.
different TVs.
Yeah.
You know, like it's gonna be different if they put it, you know, if they make it just for an Apple TV, and that means you have to go out and buy just an Apple TV so you can play the Apple game device. So it's, you know, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for them if they do decide to go through with this, because they have to decide, you know, hey, listen, are we going to make it a, you know, package deal with the TV, or are we going to make, you know, the TV and the gaming console separate and, you know, try and make the gaming console compatible for all TVs? So that's going to be their biggest challenge, I think.
And also, if Valve really is working with them to make the console, it's also rumored that they might integrate Steam, which is basically where they sell PC games. So there's also a rumor going around where on the console, it's not going to need any compact disc or anything. It's just going to be where you just pay for something online for a game, and then you just download it.
I was going to say by memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe it might not need. Well, I mean, I guess it'll need a hard drive for all the games. I don't know how it's going to work, but.
Yeah, and if they sell it as a package deal, then they probably have to incorporate the hard drive on the TV too. Because I'm pretty sure with the TV, you're probably going to be able to do like internet surfing and whatnot on it. So,
yeah,
am I right? Or
true.
You are right.
Yes, sir. Okay, guys, we have a little bit of music for you, a little bit of change in genre. I decided to go with a more upbeat song this week. Sung by the Bingo Players. It is called Cry Just a Little. It's a Dutch house song. It's like techno. By the duo of Paul Baumer and Martin Hogstraten. Very German Dutch names. Don't know much about the two of them. But, so it's, Cry Just a Little is, a very popular song in Netherlands, Belgium, the United Kingdom, and starting to become popular now in the United States. Songs all over XM Radio, so if you guys have XM Radio, check it out. We'll put a link to the description. We'll put a link to the song in the description for you guys so you guys can listen to it. More about Bingo Players. Seems that their songs started in the year 2008 with Touch Me and Chop. And then eventually went to two other songs in 2009, I Will Follow and Devotion. And, according to, Wikipedia, they're coming out with more songs. I don't know if they're out now, but they have two songs out as of now, 2004, called Don't Blame the Party and L'Amour. So if you guys want to check out those songs, check them out. I don't know if we'll put a link to them in the description, but Cry Just a Little, great song, many different remixes to it. It's pretty funny because me and my work buddies, the song comes on, we always dance to it in the shop. So really catchy. Check it out. Cry Just a Little by Bingo Players.
Well, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of the Social Underground podcast. I'm Tim, that goofy motherfucker with the sunglasses is closed, and the one you can't see is Victor. Tune in sometime next week so we can talk about whatever you want. So subscribe to us, like the video, and leave a comment so you can figure out what we're going to talk about next week.